Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be doing an unboxing video from GreenspacesID. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. And you can see I just got a massive order from GreenspacesID. For those that don't know what GreenspacesID is, it is an Indonesian nursery that can actually send us plants all over the world. And what I love about it is they go through a broker called plantstop.us, so you don't necessarily have to have an import license because the broker takes care of the import and clearance taxes for these plants. So today I'm going to be doing a massive unboxing of, you guessed it, Aglaonema. So we're going to take some time to take a look at it. What I want to accomplish in this video is not only to show you the real life of these unboxing videos, but also want to talk in detail on how to acclimate imported plants, because with plant shows like PlantCon 2025 in Houston, there will be a lot of international vendors with import plants. There is a very delicate process to make sure that your plants have the highest success rate. But you can see right here, the first Aglaonema I will be unboxing is Aglaonema Hang, I think that's how you pronounce it. So you can see right off the bat, they have some very meticulous packaging, and I'm going to take some time to just unbox these. You'll notice that the leaves on the Aglaonema Hang are already pretty healthy looking. And what I will tell you is, for these plants to travel more than 10,000 miles from Indonesia to New Jersey, from New Jersey to North Dallas, these plants have actually taken a long journey. So obviously these plants may be a little bit stressed. They may not have the best condition in terms of just having some cosmetic damage, but the first one I just unboxed looks really good. What's important about unboxing these import plants is to make sure that the root systems are intact. So we're going to go take a look and see what that looks like. You have to be really careful with how you unpack the roots. The good thing about Aglaonema is they do ship fairly well. There's certain varieties that don't ship as well as others, but you'll notice right off the bat, the roots are nice, thick and juicy, and really healthy. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this mess up so I can show you the leaves and the roots closely. Now, as far as shopping Greenspaces ID, you can go to their website, greenspaces.id. They actually offer many different types of plants besides Aglaonema, but as you can see right over here, this is just a starter Aglaonema, and I got it for a very good price. But look at the roots. It's nice and healthy. What you want to look for is anything that's mushy or brown. That's not healthy roots. So for this one's not going to take too much rehabbing or acclimation. I should be able to plant that in a soil substrate fairly soon. The next one I'm going to be unboxing is an Aglaonema Legacy. So as far as Aglaonemas, Indonesia is one of the top countries to be able to provide lots of different types of hybrids of Aglaonemas. Most people do not see these types of Aglaonemas at big box stores. And, you know, for the most part, if you watch my video, I typically do big box or plant shopping videos. I would say Costa Farms may have some Aglaonema, but we definitely don't see these types of Aglaonemas. But, you know, shout out to the GreenspacesID team. You can see that they have really meticulously wrapped these plants up very well. They're very well packaged, and you can see right here, look at that. Beautiful leaves. There might be one or two leaves that look like they might be just going to plant heaven. What I like to do whenever I do unboxings like this is to show you what is appropriate steps to take care of the plants when you initially receive it. What I am going to do is obviously unbox these plants, and then I will run step by step on how to acclimate your import plants. So you can see right over here, the one thing I love of the fact is that the sphagnum moss is not extremely moist either, because sometimes when they put too much moisture in the moss, it actually rots the roots. But you can see right over here, the roots are nice and full, super healthy, and there are just a couple of leaves that I'm just going to go ahead and pull off the plant, just because I want the plant to focus on the healthy leaves and also the root development. So I'm going to just take a couple of these leaves off. That way the plant will actually produce more roots and just, center its energy in new growth for the roots. But as you can see right here, Aglaonema Legacy, love this as well. And if you're curious about the plant pricing for these Aglaonemas, you can go to the website GreenspacesID and check it out. Sometimes they do live selling events on Instagram. But for me, I love the fact that this Indonesian seller has really good customer service, because you can follow them on Instagram at GreenspacesID. You can literally send them a direct message and you can ask for pictures of the plants. So like I said, again, I have bought plants from GreenspacesID often, and you'll see right over here is one of my favorite plants. So originally I was going to get an Aglaonema minion. It's a Greg Humbali Aglaonema, but they went ahead and substituted it for an Aglaonema Lotus Delight, which is just as beautiful. I'm actually super happy I got this, because look at that. Perfect condition for this Aglaonema. And the Aglaonema Lotus Delight is still quite a rare one. Look at how nice and pink it is. And this plant, this particular Aglaonema is a little bit more challenging to grow. It's not as easy of an Aglaonema as some of the others, but I would say it traveled perfectly for it to travel 10,000 miles. Again, plant foldies, please leave in the comments section if you have any questions about importing plants or getting plants from overseas. Again, I did not necessarily use an import license to import these plants, because GreenspacesID goes through a broker. So the broker or the nursery business is the one that actually imports the plants, and that nursery sells it as almost like a third party to ship directly to your doorstep. So as far as having to deal with all the import licensing and stuff, I have gone the other route where, yes, I do have an import license, but there are lots of steps for that. I would rather go through a more experienced broker to get these plants. And you can see right here, Aglaonema Lotus Delight. This is one of the best looking ones that I've ever received from overseas. And, as far as Aglaonemas, you already know that that is my #1 plant to collect. And I'm just really happy and super excited, plant foldies, to share this unboxing with you. There are several unboxing videos from GreenspacesID. I will say that this one is not necessarily sponsored by them. They originally sponsored me one time by sending me 6 free plants, 4 that I could pick, and I think 2 that they chose. But this time, I don't mind actually showing you how gorgeous, how cost effective, how healthy the GreenspacesID plants are. I want to create more confidence in other buyers from the United States to possibly buy plants from overseas, because the benefits of getting plants from overseas is, #1, you will find them for more cost-effective pricing. #2, you will find these plants that you really don't see in the United States more readily available. And to me, if you are somebody that likes to collect niche plants like Aglaonema, this is a really good seller for it. So here is an Aglaonema Red Army, and this one is actually an Aglaonema Red Army replacement, because when I did buy plants from them, I think last winter, the Aglaonema Red Army did not ship well at all. It was actually in really bad shape. So we'll see about this one. So they replaced it for free. The only thing about replacement plants is you end up paying for the shipping, but if you are already doing a order for other plants, they can always include it with your plant. So that's one thing I love about GreenspacesID, is they really work around you and just make sure that they take care of their customers. But you can see right over here, this Aglaonema Red Army did ship fairly well, much better than the original one that I got. You can see that the roots are actually intact, and you can see that there is like 1 or 2, I think there's 2 yellowing leaves. So I'm going to go and take those off, because again, it's just going to take energy from the plant. I would rather have the plant use all of its energy toward new growth for leaves, or more so to produce more established roots. But overall, I'm still really happy with it. Aglaonema Red Army is actually an Aglaonema that does not ship well typically. So, I mean, for this one right here, beautiful leaves. I really love the stripes, that rotundum gene that a lot of these Aglaonemas get. And then look at the roots over here, really nice looking roots as well. And here you can see that this is a Philodendron Florida Beauty. This was actually a freebie that I won whenever I was tuning into GreenspacesID's Instagram live selling. They do freebie giveaways, and I was able to get one. But originally, the one that they sent me actually did not do well. It did not ship well, so they were willing to replace it with another one. So you can see that this one is also okay. I would say that there's just a little bit of cosmetic damage on the leaves, which I will get rid of. I may just cut it back. Now we're just gonna see what the roots look like here. If the roots are still healthy, then I will just keep this in water and see if I can get a couple more roots out before I actually plant the Philodendron Florida Beauty. I typically don't buy philodendrons from overseas because I feel like these are a little bit more readily available. I usually just get Aglaonema from overseas because I have really good experience with them. And here's the thing, a lot of people will mention that they are, a little bit cautious about buying plants from overseas, and I totally get it. I'll give you some of my tips in terms of Aglaonemas or just getting plants from overseas. Number one, make sure you are vetting out the actual seller. So for instance, you want to find an international seller that has a lot of active social media presence. Also, many different reviews from many different sources, because number one, it's definitely easy for people to make fake reviews. And then number two, you have to really see the longevity of the nursery. So for me, GreenspacesID has existed for quite a while. I mean, I can even see unboxing YouTube videos from GreenspacesID about 5 years ago. And that's when really everybody was all about houseplants. I do think that there is a resurgence of interest in plants, and that's the reason why I'm thankful that I can actually get plants from GreenspacesID. So let me just continue to pull all of these plants out. You'll notice that a lot of these plants may have just a little bit of cosmetic damage here and there. That is perfectly normal. And that's another tip I want to put out there for anybody that buys plants from overseas. You have to have realistic expectations. And what I mean about realistic expectations is you have to imagine these plants go through a lot. They travel more than 10,000 miles, for instance, to get to me in North Dallas, which is where I'm based at. But even the process of preparing and packing the plants. So there are very stringent rules with the USDA where you can't just bring plants from just overseas. You have to have a phytosanitary certificate. And in order for the country to get that, they have to go through several sanitary regulations. Number one, these plants have to get uprooted from soil substrates. So you can see this one right here. I can see that there are about 3 to 4 leaves that I'm going to remove because they're just going to yellow off, and that is perfectly normal. And I have to repeat myself because a lot of us, whenever we do online shopping, a lot of the leaves will stay intact. Even some of our ones that stay in soil substrates will lose a couple of leaves here and there through travel. But they have to remove them from a soil substrate, get them cleaned up, and put them in a sphagnum moss situation. So this one right here, Aglaonema Light of Dreams. So it's different than Light of Diamond. It's got a different coloration and texture, but that one doesn't have nearly as many roots as like some of the other ones. So I will have to just stay close to that particular one. And then this one is an Aglaonema Morodoklok. Big leaf, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's basically almost like an Aglaonema spring snow, but it does get extremely large, white, variegated leaves. So this one's a little bit more pricey, and you can just see this is a 2-leaf one. And let's take a look at the leaves. So you can see that there might be some slight yellowing. What I'm more concerned about, again, plant folies, is just making sure that the root system is a viable one. There is going to be a journey for these plants to acclimate. Now, some of these plants will acclimate better than others. Some of them you're going to have to really take care of them. In terms of the environment that you provide a newly received plant from overseas, you want to make sure that they get lots of bright indirect light. They have the best nutrients in terms of a water substrate that you are going to put them in. I would not recommend putting these plants that you unboxed and taken out of the sphagnum moss and just put them in a soil substrate. I think that is the biggest mistake that a lot of people who have actually bought plants from overseas is that they want to just plant these directly in soil. I would say a minimum about 48 hours for them to acclimate in a water, nutrient water solution. And then you can see right over here, this one is still a really healthy root system. So I'm pretty sure if with the right soil substrate that I'm going to put these in, these will acclimate for me. And hopefully I could do an update within a month or two. The ones that I just recently received from Art Garden Flowers, which is another Indonesian nursery, but from my friend Riki, he actually got those sourced out from Amani Jungle. They're doing extremely well. And you know, when I first started getting a lot of Aglaonemas, I was actually transferring them into semi-hydroponic substrates. But what I've noticed with Aglaonema is they like to be on the more drier side. They have thicker roots, so they are able to tolerate drought conditions, and I just feel like soil substrates are actually a better environment for them. It doesn't mean that I'm going to remove all of my Aglaonema from my semi-hydroponic substrates. I just feel like long-term my Aglaonema will do better in that substrate. So you can see this one right here is a jumbo Aglaonema, a large leaf Aglaonema, and I am so thankful to the customer service rep. His name is Anggit, who was actually messaging me back and forth almost daily, keeping me updates on the plants, and was able to get me some amazing prices here. So look at this jumbo Aglaonema right here. Really love that. And look at the leaves. You can see that it's definitely got large leaves right here. We don't see this in the United States. There are going to be some leaves that I will be removing from the Aglaonema Jolie, but again, for a great price. And look at how they actually shipped. I would just say that GreenspacesID definitely knows what they're doing. Super thankful to the staff, and I hope to continue to work with GreenspacesID. Now, if you are interested in purchasing plants from GreenspacesID, definitely send me a direct message on Instagram. I can connect you with their customer service rep to where you can actually message them. And that is another tip I wanted to mention. Whenever you're buying plants from overseas, the seller should be readily available to be able to text or message at any point. You should be able to hear from them often. You should be able to request photos of the plants that you will be receiving, and you should be able to get a viable invoice. I would not give any payment information such as credit card information, bank numbers. I would use like a third-party payment system such as PayPal, because that will protect you from any potential scams or identity theft. And it's really important for me to give you guys this information because maybe a lot of you guys are weary about importing plants or getting plants from overseas per se, but actually me having that experience of getting plants from overseas and working with certain nurseries, hopefully I can send you into the right direction where you can find some exotic plants. You can get beautiful Aglaonema like this for such good prices. The only drawbacks I would say from getting plants from overseas is that not all the plants are going to make it. And what I mean by that is sometimes the trauma that they go through, the travel, in the acclimation period, the stars may not always align. And that's another tip I would say. Whatever money you put into an overseas order, just know that that money can potentially go down the drain, and you have to be okay with it. And I say this because I've had casualties with my plants. Thankfully, with GreenspacesID, they are willing to replace the plant if you're able to show them pictures of what the plant looks like upon arrival, and you can work some sort of deal. That's not always the case with a lot of the international vendors. So I would just say have an open heart and mind to know that whatever money you have set and invested into these plants from overseas, just be prepared for them to potentially be lost if the plant doesn't make it. And that's really just with any plant that you buy, even from a big box store. That's just the name of the game when it comes to these plants, because these plants from overseas, while they are exotic and a little bit harder to find, there is always that risk. And I just want to be realistic about that, because I have had plant foldies message me saying that maybe their overseas order didn't work out as expected. And that's just something that happens. It's happened to me. What I do ask is that you guys communicate honestly with your sellers and just make sure that you can find a solution to any potential hiccups. But this Aglaonema Big Papa I got for such a good price from GreenspacesID. And that's another thing. You can send them a direct message and ask for pricing and agree on a price before you are sent an invoice. So things that I just want to make sure everybody is aware of when you start navigating getting plants from overseas is that. And hopefully this video will actually give you guys some tips and tricks, and then also just making sure that you can see right from the get-go this is an honest review from GreenspacesID. They did not sponsor me for this, and to me that makes it a little bit more genuine in a sense that I can pretty much tell you my honest feedback versus having to feel like I have to promote a nursery, if that makes any sense. But I am so happy with the Aglaonema I received, so I'm just going to continue to unbox these Aglaonema. Feel free to leave in the comments section any questions about the overseas ordering process, if you have any questions for GreenspacesID, and also just know that I will take you along the steps through this. Enjoy the relaxing ASMR sounds that I create as well, because I'm not going to really use any background music. This is just live time me unboxing a video silently. And so maybe you guys will actually enjoy the relaxing process of unboxing plants. Know that if you see me pulling plant leaves off, that's just to get rid of any of the dead leaves. I would just say any imports that you get from overseas may have some dead leaves. That's perfectly normal, and I'm really trying to normalize that, because I think whenever we see like dead leaves or plants that are droopy, we start to panic. But for the overseas process of getting plants, that's perfectly normal, because the plants have gone through so much stress and travel, but they will bounce back if you follow my my steps. And I will show you that throughout the video. I would say with my jumbo Aglaonema, just based on what I'm seeing already, just this Aglaonema Deja Vu probably has the most stress of it. I'm not too worried because I know that if it has a viable root system, I'll be able to just replant this into soil substrate. And you already know I will be using Classy Rabbit soil. That is my favorite soil substrate. It is a local business in McKinney, Texas, a small business out in McKinney, Texas, for that amazing soil substrate. So I will plant this, but this one probably has the least, actually the most damaged in the leaves, and that's okay. I'm not panicking just yet, because if I look at the roots, let's take a look at the roots and see if the roots are actually viable. We can see, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see some viable roots. Then that is going to be okay for me, and I'm actually going to be happy with this purchase. Now, ideally, I wish that the leaves came out a little bit better. You can see this one needs to come off, and there's going to be several that I'm probably going to have to take off because there is a little bit of yellowing. I just don't want to take all of the yellowing leaves off because that's just going to put even more stress on the plant. But, the Aglaonema Deja Vu is such a beautiful pink foliage Aglaonema. So, I mean, you can see right over here, look at that. It's beautiful. It's just that it just got some yellowing on the leaves, and it's probably due to the travel and the stress levels that it received. So a lot of these leaves may end up going to plant heaven eventually, but we shall see what that looks like. So we'll figure what that looks like long term. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just remove some of these dead leaves, especially the ones that might have some soft browning on it, because Aglaonema is prone to getting some like fungal diseases and things like that. So I just want to try to keep all of the dead leaves off of this plant. And what I'm going to do is, in a second video, I will record myself potting up these Aglaonema in a soil substrate. For these plants, the step after unboxing these plants would be to clean them down using a neem oil rubbing alcohol / hydrogen peroxide spray, just to make sure that these plants are definitely pest free, which they are, but I want to add a protective coating on the leaves. So when I eventually put these plants in a soil substrate, they're already protected from plant pests. You have to think any plant that is actually stressed is not going to have the highest I guess protection from plant pests, especially a weakened immune system, if you will, if I were to say that, just because it's stressed. But if they bounce back, they're going to definitely be good. And then this one right here is an Aglaonema bamboo, also known as Aglaonema cutlass in the United States. And this one right here was actually another jumbo form. And that's the reason why I wanted to buy plants from GreenspacesID, because some of their plants are actually not listed on the website. But if you actually send them a direct message on Instagram, they typically are very much responsive, and they will send you plants that may not be available on the website. And you can even work a deal on getting some of these plants for a very cost-effective price. Again, I would just say before an invoice is sent to you, I would recommend agreeing to a final price on these plants, and you should be good to go. But like this one right here, I'm not worried about it actually establishing, because look at the root systems. It is a really good root system, and in planting this in a soil substrate is going to work well for me. Now I'm going to remove some of the yellow leaves from this, but let me go ahead and clean up my mess. Feel free to leave comments in the comment section again for these plants. I'm really curious to see what you think about these Aglaonemas. Just know, if you have any Aglaonema questions, leave that in the comment section. If you have any questions about GreenspacesID, send me a direct message on Instagram. I can even introduce you in a group chat with GreenspacesID. I have been working with GreenspacesID for close to 9 months to almost a year now, and they have always been kind to me. Whenever I go to PlantCon 2025 or even PlantCon last year, I was able to pick up plants from GreenspacesID through plantstop.us. So lots going on here, but at least I can speak upon my experiences. You've had timestamps where you can see my experiences from past GreenspacesID unboxing videos, and hopefully this is value added for y'all. I know that this is not typically the big box or plant shopping videos. I try to mix it up a little bit. I try to get people excited about trying something new, and hopefully, if you discovered my YouTube channel, you'll actually hit the subscribe button and share this video for anybody that might be interested in growing Aglaonemas, adding it in your plant collection, or better yet, just getting plants from overseas. Another tip I would say about getting plants from overseas is make sure you time it within seasonality. And what I mean by that is I wouldn't necessarily put a order for GreenspacesID in the wintertime. You are really risking these plants from freezing, especially since the hub that they enter actually goes to New Jersey first, and then it gets shipped off to wherever you live in the United States. For me, I have to be a little bit cautious moving forward, especially in the summertime, because I do get 100+ degree weather. And whenever the broker actually receives the plants and ships it off, they go through USPS. And I already know how hot those trucks get, especially in the hot Texas summer. So things to just keep a look at, things to think about whenever you are thinking about getting plants from overseas. Now, I will say, if you do buy plants from GreenspacesID, please shout me out. Let them know that GrowFold sent you to them. I think that they would be super happy, and they may end up even giving you a promo code for 20% off. If for some reason they do give me a promo code for 20% off, I will add that in the description of this video. But you can see right here, Aglaonema andini, love it. It's a big leaf Aglaonema, and you can see that it's got some pretty viable roots as well. This one's going to have to be planted in a smaller planter because I don't want to have too much soil substrate around it to where it stays wet for too long. And then this one right here is an Aglaonema Green Javana. And even though I already have an Aglaonema Green Javana, I really love the look of this particular Aglaonema. This Aglaonema, and let's just take a look. I knew it. This Aglaonema doesn't travel as well. So you'll see some browning and yellowing leaves, which is, again, normal for imports or plants from overseas. All you have to do is make sure to get rid of those. I would definitely get rid of those before you put that in your nutrient solution water for the roots to soak. So unfortunately, with this Aglaonema, I wouldn't say that it's the best in looking one, but I'm still not as worried about it acclimating into my space, because when you look at the roots are nice, thick, and white, and that's really what you're looking for whenever you're looking at Aglaonema roots. I definitely will spray this down with neem oil spray just in case there's any potential plant pests that want to attack this as it's acclimating. But it is a beautiful green form Aglaonema, so we're just going to continue to look at these plants. There was another Aglaonema Deja Vu that was supposed to be sent on this order, but had to be replaced with the Aglaonema Peacock Merek. And the reason being is the roots were just not viable. GreenspacesID actually sent me a video showing that the roots were not that great. So they replaced it with this right here. They gave me an option, and I'm really happy about this because what's special about this Aglaonema Peacock Merit is, did you know that I met the actual hybridizer of the Aglaonema Peacock Merit? I actually met him at PlantCon 2025. He is actually a Filipino American that hybridized this. And it's interesting that it made it all the way back to Indonesia, of all places. And his name is Clay. He actually owns Valcaria Gardens in Florida. So definitely check it out. Shout out to Kuya Clay. He is also known as the hybridizer for Aglaonema White Rain, but you can see this beautiful Aglaonema Peacock Merit, which is actually a large form, large leaf, narrow leaf Aglaonema. I love the white stems, and also I love the silver foliage of this. There's like a metallic look about it. Almost looks like an Aglaonema Green Army, but it's definitely different. So for me, I already have this Aglaonema, but it's one that I don't mind having in my collection, especially when it comes from a Filipino hybridizer. Again, I am a proud Filipino American. Mabuhay. And for you, if you are a kababayan, please make sure you say hello in the comment section. But this is a perfect example of a very hardy Aglaonema. This one's a little bit more faster growing, and even if it doesn't have all of the flashily like colorful leaves, I love that it's got a beautiful metallic green about it. And so let's finish off taking a look at some of the other Aglaonemas we have here, and then the next step would be to spray the plants off with my neem oil spray and let it sit on them for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and then I will wash off the roots, make my nutrient solution, and then just let them sit and rehydrate in water, and that's basically it. But this Aglaonema Rinjani, what a beautiful one. And let's see about the roots. Wanted to take a little time to highlight some of the footage that GreenspacesID sent me whenever I was in the process of ordering these Aglaonema. It was very important for me to stay in touch with the international seller. Again, whenever you are dealing with international sellers, the more communication you can get from the seller, the better off you're going to be, because you'll know the process. For instance, I know for a fact that they care about the quality of my plants, because they sent 2 of my plants video where the root systems weren't that great. So they sent me alternatives to replace the plants. One of them being this one right here, which I felt like I was getting a better deal because I was getting a bigger plant. Same thing with this right here, because there were 2 plants from the previous clip where they didn't have the best root system. So shout out to my friend Anggit, who was the one that has been staying in touch with me in terms of the whole ordering process from GreenspacesID. ID. You can see that these are videos that he had sent me on the process of how they prepare these plants to be exported and sent to the United States. It is a very rigorous process. So shout out to all of the staff members of GreenspacesID for taking the time and making sure that these plants are pest free and that they're following all the protocols that are required for foreign plants to enter the United States. You have to have a phytosanitary certificate. But the great thing about GreenspacesID is they go through a broker and through air cargo. So all of the process is taken care of by a third party, which I like. And that third party is basically like a nursery that basically imports the plants. So I am not personally importing the plants, but as you can see right here, very healthy plants to begin with. And you can see that they are taking care of all of the soil, making sure that every speck of soil is removed from the plant. And then they do a rigorous process where they clean the roots and then make sure that the plants are soaked in some type of solution that ensures that they are pest free. And then there is a drying process for it. So again, with GreenspacesID, in terms of being an international nursery, international seller that has sent plants all over the world successfully, it is just very important for me to highlight this because I know that there are a lot of plant foldies and viewers that are a little bit weary about getting plants from overseas. I totally get it. There are, horror stories where people have been scammed. But in terms of GreenspacesID, you can see that they do follow all of the proper protocols in terms of making sure that these plants are pest free. They go through a rigorous process again, and all of the plants that you get are pretty much healthy, as you can tell from my unboxing. And then you can just see that I am happy that they actually sent me footage of their process because it brings me even more confidence as a consumer that they go about it the right way. And I'm really happy to continue to promote GreenspacesID. This was not a paid sponsorship. These plants, I paid for all of them, but I have had such great experiences to the point where I will continue to buy from GreenspacesID because they go through the process. And I think a lot of the content out there about unboxing videos doesn't have this unique factor of actually showing that they actually take care of the plants. I love the fact that once all of the plants are pest free, they now wrap them in sphagnum moss and label them. So it is a rigorous process. And, as far as the shipping costs, I would say that it's fair considering all of the manual labor that is involved in actually packing up these plants. So again, Anggit, the person that was over customer service on GreenspacesID Instagram, really appreciate you. Please thank all of the workers that took the time, the meticulous care to actually pack these plants. I feel like this is really important for all of our plant foldies to see. So if you are wanting to buy plants from GreenspacesID, hopefully this gives you an inside glimpse of the process of ordering the plants, the communication with the seller, the process to make them pest free and pack them, just to give us a little bit more confidence. Again, GreenspacesID has been around for a while. If you vet out their reviews, there are so many content creators, plant influencers that have put up videos on YouTube and other places to where they're doing reviews of GreenspacesID. But you can see at the end, they pack them with sphagnum moss because soil is not allowed to be shipped to the United States. So it has to be soil free. And look at the meticulous care that they do in terms of the plants. So as far as all of these plants, again, yes, there might have been a little bit of cosmetic damage, but you have to think of all of the process of that is involved in taking care of these plants in terms of preparing them to ship. They travel more than 10,000 miles from Indonesia to North Dallas because they actually have the broker. They ship the plants to New Jersey first, first, and then from New Jersey, they have to get cleared, and then it gets shipped out to wherever the destination is. But as you can see right over here, all of these plants have been packed meticulously. This was my order before it reached me in North Dallas. So please leave in the comment section what you think. And I am, again, so thankful to Angit and the Green Spaces ID team. And as you can see right here, plant foldies, I have now thoroughly cleaned the roots again, just to make sure that they are good to go. And all of the plants right here have had that neem oil spray that I actually spray on all my plants, and these have been successfully unpacked. And the next step would be to actually create the nutrient solution water, because the problem is, and I've noticed this with some people that have imported plants or actually have gotten plants from overseas. Let me rephrase that, because I didn't personally import these. These went through a third party, again, plantstop.us, through GreenspacesID. And a lot of people will actually just unpack the plants and actually plant them in their soil medium or soil substrate or whatever substrate you intend to. I don't think that is the best way to go about it, because these plants are severely dehydrated and very stressed. So I like to give my plants that I get from overseas to rehydrate at least 48 to 72 hours. And so the nutrient solution that I use, and this is what I get, is the Super Thrive Protect solution. It's got silica solution in it as well as Super Thrive. So I'll get me a gallon container and mix up the solution. This is what I'm going to use as my nutrient solution that my plants are going to be sitting in for at least 48 hours to 72 hours, maybe even longer, because I feel like, number one, the Super Thrive, which has the B vitamin complex, is going to help rejuvenate the plant. And number two, the silica solution is actually going to make the plant cells a little bit stronger. It's going to help it recover. So I am using this Protect Super Thrive solution, which you can buy on Amazon, and I am mixing up the solution here. Again, it's just very important for me to rehydrate the plants, and I think that is where a lot of people end up not having nearly as much success whenever you're getting plants from overseas, or if you buy plants from overseas that say PlantCon, where you immediately plant the plant into a soil substrate or into semi-hydroponic substrates. You really have to take your time to acclimate these plants, and the best way to do it is, number one, thoroughly cleaning them, even though they have already been cleared to pass to enter the United States, and then also just making sure you are handling them and rehydrating them with nutrient solution. So hopefully this gives you a little bit more insight. I know that there are a couple of plant foldies that are buying from GreenspacesID. Really excited that you guys have actually trusted this seller that I have bought from several times now and will continue to buy from. Actually, PlantCon 2025 in Houston, I have another set of plants I will be picking up from plantstop.us from GreenspacesID. So I'm super excited about that, but it's really easy to make that nutrient solution. So now you can see plant foldies. I will spray these plants right here in not nutrient solution, actually the neem oil spray, which is actually my DIY neem oil spray. I do use We the Wild Protect neem oil spray at the very end, but what I like to do is spray these plants down top to bottom, bottom to top, the roots and everything, and let them sit for a good 5 to 10 minutes, and then I will rinse the roots. So you can see I've actually just showed you how I sprayed the plants, but this Aglaonema Lotus Delight, which is an absolute stunner, was actually already been sprayed. I let it sit there for about 10 minutes. So all of my plants have actually had neem oil spray with hydrogen peroxide and rubbing alcohol solution on it for a while. And the reason why I like to spray them down with neem oil spray is because it gives them a protective coating for any potential plant pests that will attack the plant, as the plant is actually very stressed. So anytime you have plants that you receive from overseas, they're going to be extremely stressed, and therefore it's very important to make sure that you're rehydrating them, giving them the best substrate. So I will actually be potting up all of these Aglaonema in Classy Rabbit soil, and that will be in a second video that I will create for the plant foldies. And then eventually I will do a plant update, maybe a month, a 1 month or 2 month update on some of my Aglaonema. But as you can see right here, all of these plants have been sprayed down with neem oil spray. And I'm going to leave the neem oil spray. If you notice, I'm only cleaning the roots and the stems because I don't want that rubbing alcohol and neem oil spray to sit in with the nutrient solution. So plant foldies, let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. But really, this is my process. And I felt that this was really important because as people continue to buy plants from either overseas, especially from GreenspacesID, I don't want them to have a negative I guess, experience because their plants made it to plant heaven or the plants just died. And I really think a lot of that has to do with the acclimation process. There is a lot more work involved when it comes to getting plants from overseas. So I just want to make sure that this video, which may be long playing, is at least detailed. This is a complete how to acclimate your plants from overseas from GreenspacesID. You know, all of the international sellers should be following these protocols in terms of making sure that these plants are pest free, soil free, making sure that they have constant communication with this the seller, because at the end of the day, if they want to get a sale, they really have to make sure that they build trust with the consumer. And for me, they have built trust with me over the year that I have been getting plants from that. And you know, it's a prime example. For instance, this is an Aglaonema Red Army that from a previous order did not make it, so they sent me a replacement you know, for free. You know, as far as replacements are concerned, in order to get these replacements, typically you have to just pay for the shipping again. The shipping for me, at least for this order, was $55. So it really varies on the amount of plants that you get. But like I said again, if you're getting plants from overseas and you saw the rigorous process of making sure that these plants are packed, I feel like $55, at least for my shipping, was not bad at all, considering I didn't have to worry about it. And then, you know, as far as the broker, they're the ones that repack the plants to make sure that they are cleared and shipped through USPS. So as far as this whole process, it's been very simple. So again, plant foldies, I do encourage you guys to shop GreenspacesID if you want to get some of these rare Aglaonemas. You can send them a direct message on Instagram, and they can even send you or ship all of these plants, you know, pictures. So they all of these plants that I am showing you as I clean these up have actually been seen by me before they were ever shipped. Whenever I needed to see the plant that I was receiving, they were able to snap a picture and send it to my Instagram. So kudos again to GreenspacesID. But as you can see right here, I'm just making sure that I am cleaning all of the neem oil solution that I put on the roots. And again, the reason why I wanted to spray it down again is because Aglaonema are known to possibly get fungus, you know, bacterial infections in their root systems. They really have to have a very sterile environment. And so I just want to make sure I am doing everything in my part to minimize that. When plants are actually stressed, and you know, you cannot blame these plants. The fact that they were uprooted from a soil type substrate in another part of the world, shipped 10,000 plus miles in a box where they were not getting sun for a couple of days, shipped to another environment where you know, it's not a you know, hot and humid environment like Indonesia. It's a lot for a plant, and that's the reason why, you know, some plants may not make it, and some plants don't always come out with perfect leaves. That's perfectly normal. So another thing I would say, and my message for anybody that is thinking about getting plants from overseas, is just make sure you are prepared to either lose a leaf or two, or if the plant doesn't make it all the way, I mean, that's really the risk you get from getting plants from overseas. But to me, the benefits of getting plants from overseas is you're able to source out plants that are harder to get in the United States, or at least when it comes to Aglaonema. I know in terms of anthuriums and other philodendrons and aroids, maybe they're a little bit more readily available because more nurseries are getting plants from overseas, acclimating them and propagating them in-house in the United States. But as far as Aglaonema, just like Sean of Only Plants mentioned in his most recent video where he was featuring a show in Indonesia, a lot of the United States and even European countries haven't really caught on to the bandwagon of Aglaonema. And to me, you know, showing videos like this and showing the beauty of Aglaonema, it is really part of my campaign to hashtag popularize Aglaonema, because there are so many beautiful varieties. And again, plant foliage, you can see that I am just rinsing these plants thoroughly because that is really important. And if you notice the root systems, guys, plant foliage, the root systems are very healthy. And that's another tip, again, I would say, is if you get plants from overseas, if you get really strong root systems, while the foliage might have some cosmetic damage, it'll take a little while for them to recover and acclimate to your space. But once they do, you're going to get some great new leaves. It's just very important to have a very strong root system. So I have to give recognition to GreenspacesID. They definitely don't want to send products that are not going to make it. So the fact that they were able to catch 2 Aglaonema that didn't have the strongest root systems and then were able to give me another alternative to choose from speaks volumes about the customer service. They're not just out there to just make money. They really want to make sure that they're sending a good product. And you know, whereas some unboxing reviews just kind of show you the unboxing process of GreenspacesID. Hopefully, for anybody that may have discovered my channel, if you're not just a plant foldy that has been following me for a while, hopefully that this gives you a more comprehensive insight or look of how it, you know, the experience of getting plants from overseas. I love doing relaxing plant chores. Now, whether this video will get as many hits as a big box or plant shopping video, probably not. It's just really interesting that sometimes this type of content doesn't get pushed out to all of my subscribers. So hopefully, if you like this, I would ask that you guys, number one, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. Just love the Aglaonema Jolie. I mean, look at how beautiful those leaves are. And I just can't believe that for the most part, all of these plants right here ship so well, considering they traveled 10,000 miles. And, you know, whenever I see people make these reviews where they just had not the best experience, I think sometimes people don't look at getting plants from overseas realistically. I mean, the fact that they are traveling very far places. You saw those clips about how these plants have to go through such a rigorous process to be prepared for export. It is a lot on the plant. And so I always say with anybody that's getting plants from overseas, be a little bit more realistic about the plant. Celebrate the wins that you get. And if you have a really good seller, if there is a plant casualty, if the plant eventually makes it to plant heaven or is dead upon arrival, I am sure that they will be able to either get you a refund or a replacement. I know GreenspacesID has been able to do that for me, and that's the reason why, again, even though this is not a paid sponsorship, I wanted to instill confidence in anybody that is willing to try getting their plants from overseas. So the next process I will be showing you is just me putting them in, glass bowls for them to rehydrate for at least 48 to 72 hours. I'm going to skip the process of pouring the water because this video is a little bit long. I'm going to go ahead and just show you scenes of all of the plants once they have rehydrated at least for the first 12 hours the next morning. So you'll see that as I finish up cleaning these roots. And you can see plant foldies. I've just rinse and repeat. Just make sure that you are really cleaning out the roots, because you don't want that neem oil, rubbing alcohol and hydrogen peroxide sitting onto the roots into your nutrient solution. So the next step would be just to create that nutrient solution. I like to use Super Thrive because it does have that B vitamin complex that's going to help rejuvenate the plant, as well as using Protect solution. It has that silica solution, which actually makes the plant cells even more durable, and that's really going to help with all of that stress for the plant. I am going to definitely buy more Aglaonema. That is really where the majority of my plants are sourced out, is from overseas. And you can see right over here, look at how beautiful these Aglaonema are. So I actually skipped the process of showing you how I pour the nutrient water for the Aglaonema. But once you've rinsed them out, you make sure that your roots are really clean. You can just put them in bottles, jars, or whatever, and just make sure that you have the nutrient solution. So I'm just going to go through each and every single Aglaonema that I got, and just hopefully you guys admire the leaves. Let's popularize Aglaonema. Use the hashtag popularize Aglaonema, and I've had such a great experience with GreenspacesID. Hopefully you guys will build some trust and actually become adventurous and try to buy that. So let's see if that will inspire you to actually get plants from overseas. I am excited to show you the potting up process using Classy Rabbit soil. If you want to see more videos like this, I do have a playlist called Importing Houseplants. That's the thing, plant foldies. If you just want to binge some of my plant content, I have several plant playlists. I would love that, and I would love for you guys to just share this video specifically about GreenspacesID, because they have some amazing plants. And I mean, you can see right here, gorgeous Aglaonema. And really, for those that want to collect Aglaonema, you're gonna have to get these from overseas, or at least to get the more rare, colorful varieties. Feel free to leave in the comment section what you think, if this has been value added for you, what Aglaonema is your favorite. I would love to know. track that I'm playing, it's called You're on the Beat by DJ Bang Beats. It just makes you want to dance with joy because this is such an amazing plant haul. If you ask myself, my experience with GreenspacesID has been more than fabulous. I mean, take a look at that Aglaonema Lotus Delight. It is one of the most beautiful Aglaonemas on the planet, but you can even see right over here Aglaonema Hang. And I'm just going to take some time to show you all of the beautiful foliage. You'll notice how shiny the leaves are, and that is a result of me using my plant foldy mist spray that I make, which is neem oil spray. And these plants are actually being filmed about a day after I actually unbox these plants, and you can see that the plants are still happy in their nutrient solution. So for me, again, to sum up a lot of the plant tips for getting plants from overseas: number one, find a reputable seller. Make sure that that seller has had quite a bit of experience. You can see the reviews. You can probably find people that have actually bought from a seller. I think that is a really good way to find a reputable seller, is through friends, word of mouth. So that's the reason why plant foldies, if you ask me, do I recommend GreenspacesID? Definitely. And I can speak upon my experiences with them, because if you look at these gorgeous Aglaonema, that is really the only way you're going to get all of these beautiful Aglaonema. It's through getting them from overseas. So I hope you guys have learned something in terms of just what to do whenever you're unboxing plants from overseas. Some content creators will just show you their excitement. They're like, wow, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But we need to make sure that we're also explaining to the viewers on what to do with the plants that you receive from overseas. Again, keep it realistic. Not all of the plants are going to make it through the acclimation process. And then also just know that you have to have a little bit of grace for yourself. Not every import is going to be perfect. Lucky for me, I have had very rare instances where I've had a lot of casualties with my plants. For the most part, I may have like one or two that may not necessarily make it. But as far as my Aglaonema collection, I know you guys have been asking for a house plant tour. If you just look back at all of my unboxing videos of my Aglaonema, you will see that I have quite a bit of a selection, and maybe I don't even need to do a house plant tour. You can just rewatch all of my unboxing videos. But seriously, shout out to GreenspacesID for really working alongside with me, you know, in terms of how long it took to get these plants. It took about a month, and that's because they have to go through the phytosanitary certificates. They have to have a scheduled air cargo shipment. There's a lot that's involved. So, you know, you're going to need to have patience whenever you're getting plants from overseas. I would say typically it takes about 4 weeks from the time you place an order until the time you receive these plants directly to your doorstep. But it has been an enjoyable experience for me to be able to share my experience for GreenspacesID, and I really hope that that nursery continues to grow, that we continue to hashtag popularize Aglaonema through these types of videos. So again, plant foldies, if you have any questions or comments about the video today, leave that in the comment section. You know I love the feedback as well as any care tips. So for me to sum up this care tips, I'm gonna let these plants soak up all of that nutrient solution water for another day or two, and then I'm gonna pot them up in a soil substrate using Classy Rabbit soil. And if you haven't already, go to classyrabbit.com to order your soil bag. They do offer free shipping on some orders, so definitely check that out, and just let me know what you think of these Aglaonema. Like this Aglaonema Deja Vu, while it has some yellowing leaves, I still think that this is such a beautiful plant. I will be getting even more Aglaonema in the next couple of weeks, so you will see more unboxing videos. And as far as the care tips, give it the very best conditions. And when I say best conditions, give them the best soil substrate. Make sure that you are watering with Super Thrive solution to help with the stress levels. Give them bright indirect light, such as morning light. grow them under a grow light, and make sure that you are using pest preventatives, because at this point these plants are very vulnerable to plant pests because they are extremely stressed. But to wake up in the morning and show you these gorgeous Aglaonema, I mean, that's the best life you can live, right? Plant foldies, hopefully you guys are loving the Aglaonemas, and hopefully you will actually place an order with GreenspacesID. Highly recommend them. This is an honest review from the unboxing process to the steps on how to acclimate your plants from overseas. GreenspacesID has done it again, and I love it. Plant foldies, what do you think about my GreenspacesID plant haul? My Aglaonema collection continues to grow. At this point, I have more than 100 Aglaonema in my plant collection, and it will steadily grow. As always, join my YouTube membership tier if you haven't already. It is the price of a cup of coffee for only $2.99. You'll have more access to seeing my Aglaonema, for instance. And also, please shop GreenspacesID, their website, and order your Aglaonema today, because you need these Aglaonema in your life. This is Richie at Growfolds. I've had a great time doing this unboxing video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.